Take two.
There we go.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah, enough apologies. Sorry about that, guys. How you doing, bud?
All good, all good. How are you? How's the first month of work? The first
Feels
year
like a
of
year.
January is over.
It it feels like a proper year. Like I'm knackered.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm already thinking when to take leave, like
Mm,
which leave days to take to optimize my leave taking skill, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We're there already. Like work this weekend. Yeah, the year is not going slowly.
Uh, but anyway, enough of that. Let's talk the good stuff. I don't know where we're going to start. It's just you and I today, which should be fun. As I like to put it, the sane people in the
The
chat.
sane people. I like this. I
Thank you.
like this.
Yes, yes.
Even though I
It,
posted a picture from months ago thinking it was relevant. But yeah, I try my best.
which one was this now?
No, I deleted it as soon as I realized that shit, this was actually from a few months ago. It's not up to date. It was all over Reddit, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Post. Um, and then went back to the post, and I'm like, oh shit, no, this is an old one.
Okay. Right. Where do we start? Do we start with your team winning the league in end of Jan?
No, let's start
Or
with Arsenal. Let's give credit where it's due, and let's start with Arsenal. Did you watch that game?
um, I did. I'm posting something. What am I going to say? I'm going to say, there we go. Um, oh, wrong one. That goes there. Geez, I don't know what's going on today. Geez, like, okay. We're going. What's going on with Pep and his side?
I think the race is just run. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to, you know, bring them down or anything. But I think that squad of players has like their cycle is over and they need to start a new cycle now, and this is would be like a blooding in season for them. It happens to everyone. They won 4 league titles in a row. No team goes 5 years at the top. It's just people figure you out, your players age, players get bored of the same things over and over. It's just human nature. I
It's it.
don't think it's anything more than that. They spent in Jan. They're about to get another guy now,
Yeah.
a defensive midfielder,
Yeah.
and they'll spend again in the summer. And next season they'll be favorites for the title again.
And I hate having this argument because I think everyone has this notion that Sir Alex Ferguson was the greatest manager of all time and whatnot. And with everything being said, me hating saying this, the one thing that he was able to do was to reintroduce his squad every season.
Yeah, but
And
if
I
you look at it,
feel,
right,
Mhm.
it's only really been gigs and skulls that he had since the beginning.
Yeah,
Every few years there was a rebuild.
yeah. That
So
rebuild introduced a different dimension in as
yeah,
much as it's the same Ferguson, but it introduced a different dimension. And I do feel great as Pep is, he missed a trick this time around, and I think this sits directly on his lap.
you mean with rebuilding, or do you miss a
The
trick in the game?
the rebuilding and the dependency on specific players, it has to sit with him. I love Pep, like I think he's the greatest that we've had in our generation, but this time around he missed the trick.
I was watching Thierry Henry, and he said we're saying they're missing Alvarez, they're missing Mahrez, they're missing Diaz, but we never said City were missing Sergio Aguero or Yaya Toure or David
Yeah,
Silva or
yeah,
Vincent Company. We
hmm
never said that, and these are
yeah,
lesser players than those players, right? So I don't think it's, oh, they're missing Rodri and when he's back it'll all be fine. I don't
yeah.
buy it. I
I,
genuinely think their race is run, and I genuinely think that squad needs a refresh, and it's already started. and these kids need to bed in that he's got. They'll buy another 3 or 4 in the summer, and as I said, they'll be favorites for the title again. Haaland won't be playing every single game. He'll get a break, and he'll look fresher. And yeah, done.
And that's it. We'll forget about this mishap
And we'll call it a
at
once-off. I still think they'll finish fourth. We'll call it a once-off, just like how Fergie had bad seasons, and we'll move.
and then let's talk about Arsenal. Are they the real deal?
That was a real performance. Like I, many times I've come on here and I've said last year they needed to add steel to their game, and
Hmm.
what they did was they just went to full 180. Then they became all steel and no actual like open play quality, right?
They were
And what we
aggressive.
said
They
was,
were.
yeah, and what we said was they could have kept what they had and just added the steel to it. Yesterday they did that. Yesterday they went back to what they were last season, but with the added steel. And like I think 5 minutes in, I put a message in the group saying, if Arsenal played like this the whole season, they'd be top.
Nah. Yeah,
And they
I
just
remember that.
continued. They just continued. Okay, they like City did have their moments where they dominated possession, but that's going to happen. You're playing a quality side, but man, why do they not play like this every week?
The ask is a bit too much, but there's I'm trying to remember the I can't remember but it was a comment I think I can't remember what was in the newspaper where they said whoever wrote the article went and said they went for the jugular and it's exactly that
Mm.
they saw the moment because the first half was a bit of an okay show. The second half, I think that's when the real work went in, and they saw an opportunity in that, in as much as Haaland scored that cross that came in. City are very susceptible to conceding goal right after scoring a goal, and that's
Jelani
childish.
says the chat is disabled. He wants to be here in the comments.
Uh,
Sorry, Ngo.
so we've disabled the chat. Um, um, that is weird. I don't know why. That is very weird.
Yeah, I only see our private chat.
Yeah, same here. Just hold on for me, tools. Uh, Thank you for that, though. Let's go here. Okay, cool. Let's see. That's that. That's that. Guest can control all presentation. We don't want that. Okay, cool. Don't want that. Let me hold on. Let me sort this out real quick. Okay. Yeah, should be sorted in the next minute or so.
Cool.
Um, yeah. So back to Arsenal. They went for the jugular, and I think they needed that goal. They needed to consider the goal in and around that moment, and that's burned them into beast mode, if I could say
Mm.
so. Because literally a minute later, they went and scored, and right after then, there was nothing that
Yeah.
City could do. There was nothing City could patch up, or any of the players that they brought on to try and make a difference. Because I think Arsenal were already rampant and they were running away with it. And the goals that these kids were scoring,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
That Lewis Skelly goal, we have to talk about that goal.
Don't
That's
say,
what
don't.
you expect. No, no, no. I'm talking about Lewis Kelly, right?
Okay, cool.
That's
Thank you.
what you expect
Because, ladies and
from a Frank
gentlemen,
Lampard, from a Steven
okay,
Gerrard. You
from a
expect. What are you trying to imply, Nguban?
ladies and gentlemen, he was going to tell us that it was a Salah.
Well, that Nwaneri, that
Yeah,
guy, that goal,
the fifth
that
one.
was, and I mean that as a compliment
The
to him.
shithousery goal that he will goes and he scores and he goes namaste. He comes down
That
as
that
oh
was yeah, that was Miles Lewis Kelly. That like shaping your body like that in a
yeah,
crowd.
and he
And
opened
okay,
himself up. Mm.
yes, okay, keeper should have done better there, right? Like his positioning could have been better, and
I'm
it looks
trying to
like he
recall
dove
which
a bit
one
late,
where
but
the keeper didn't even move.
I think
Was it
that
the
was
fourth?
Nwaneri. I
Yeah,
think that was Nwaneri. Yeah, like
yeah, oh yeah.
that, and then did it hit the inside of the post,
No, didn't touch the
or
post.
was it
It
side netting?
literally side netting. Yeah.
Mm,
I think as a
it's
keeper,
just
if you are standing in the middle there and then someone hits the inside of the net, unfortunately, there's bugger all you can do.
yes, I agree with that, right? But when he sees him shape that way, you know where he's going.
Yeah, but the keeper
You
didn't
don't know
also the
where he's going, but you know which direction.
yeah, the keeper also didn't have the best of games. But anyway, um, the big question that I have, and I know that it's the societal thing that we have where we can't celebrate like the moment. There's always like looking forward or looking ahead as in what is next for Arsenal. I think I'm more intrigued by the next game that they're going to be playing more than the showing at City. The reason I say that is the showing at City had been coming. I mean, Chelsea missed a trick. They should have. And I still say this: Chelsea should have taken
Maximum points.
City, yeah, maximum, and they
You guys
didn't.
should have been 3
And
0 up in the first 20
yeah,
minutes, from
yeah,
what I remember.
and I think it's a we thing more than yeah, City being the best, whatever. But the minute you don't bury your chances against City, you get this. During the week, Champions League, they were not that convincing. But anyway, life goes on, and they meet us aside two of the best centre backs this season so far. And they defensively they were in shape, and attacking wise, sure they've got Kai. It was fucking useless, but anyway, he made up for it. And they've got those two brilliant goals that were scored. If Chelsea did that, but I'm not going to make it about Chelsea. But anyway, back to my point in that I'm more intrigued by the next game that they're going to be playing. I know they're going to be playing in the cup, and in them playing in the cup, af- after a showing like this, it'll speak more to who they are and what their aspirations are more than the win. The win I love.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I, I,
They've now got to
um.
follow this up and overturn Newcastle. 2-0 down,
And
but you're taking them back to the Emirates, right?
yep.
So
And this is a
look,
new we have this caption. And this is a Newcastle that I'm not going to lie. Could should fight tooth and nail
hmm,
because this is the only chance that they will have for any silverware.
yeah. And they got to the final a couple of years ago and lost. So, you know, they should want to make up for that. Um, but in saying that, Newcastle haven't been that great this last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They've just not looked. Then they've not looked the team in January that they were in December.
They're not, and I think they've got Isak probably one of the best strikers. I don't know how many goals he's got this season. I think he should be like 15, 16, but somewhere
I
there.
think he's
Um,
third. I think he's
so oh
third
Kai,
after Salah and Haaland.
well I can believe that, but hold on, yeah, I'll tell you now. Actually, I normally don't check stats. I normally just have it in the back of my mind. Sorry, it's a Monday, guys. Goals this season.
Got
Um,
you.
s-
He is third with
yeah,
17. He's
that's a decent
tied with
return.
Chris Wood, also on 17.
We need to talk about Mr. Wood
Forest.
later on.
Yeah.
Um, but and I then sit here and I'm like thinking to myself, you are what? How many points ahead with the game in hand?
We
6 points.
are 6 points ahead with the game
Yeah,
in
six
hand.
points with game in hand. I don't see you losing any other game.
No,
The
no,
way you're
no,
efficient.
no, no.
I saw
I'm
a
not.
rare mistake. I saw a rare mistake from your captain there this weekend. But we'll speak on it. We'll get to it. I know. Um, I'm hoping for you to lose 3 games.
I mean, if we lose 3 games, which I'm
Mm,
not writing off, right? Because this season has been that kind of season. Although we have only lost 1 game in the league. But if we do lose 3 games, right, that
it will
means
set. Yeah,
that puts us, well, we're still ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. But do you think Arsenal can win out?
that's what I want to see. I'd love to have a good laugh, or I'd love for them to actually show up the performance, back up the performance that they had this past weekend. Because this
What I will
weekend,
say
two
is,
things, two things might have happened this weekend. It might be the moment where we say this is the game week where Liverpool went and won the league, or this is where we say this is the game week where Arsenal went and said they are challengers to the throne by
they're
going in
they're
and
definitely
taking.
challenges. Like I never wrote them off, but like yesterday just confirmed that performance is a champion's performance, right? And this is not City against Liverpool or those seasons where both teams end up on 90 plus points. I don't think any team's going to end up with 90 plus points this season, right? I know we're on track for it, but it's not going to happen.
Mm,
Um, I think maybe 86 points wins you the league this year, and Arsenal got 86 points last season, I think, or they probably got even more last season. So it's not done. Um, there's still, I think Arsenal have 13 games and we have 14 games to go. Um, we're not going to win out. They're not going to win out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Lemec keeps worrying me to speak about the derby, and I'm purposefully avoiding it because it's a derby. Anything can happen.
there's so much emotion that's going on in David Moyes' side right now.
And this
I
this will
think
be their last Merseyside derby at Goodison.
that might be the thing that fuels them.
Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
that would be where we're gonna go. I'm not gonna spell Merseyside right. I'll just write Merseyside. Whatever comes, comes.
MERSEY
It's too late.
side.
It's too late. It's too late. One word. We then move over to the 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 derby that is the Merseyside derby. Last game, last home game, Everton at their current stadium. Um, they're on the back of winning 2 games with a manager who knows the
What's up?
secretary from like
Yep.
freaking 2000 and whatnot. They defrosted
Yep.
him and he just comes in. I'm sure his locker key still works and whatnot. And I watched them this weekend and they score a goal from kickoff.
Goal
Not
kick
really
from a
from
goal kick.
from a was it a goal? It was
Was
kickoff
it?
because
So
it was a
kickoff
kick
back to the keeper and then
back to the keeper. He hoofed it
I
forward,
only saw the
and
highlights.
then yeah, it was from. Yeah, let's see what. Yeah, but yeah, check on your site. You'll see the amount of time it took. It's like
No, it,
a
it was
sub one
immediate. It was
minute.
like yeah,
Yeah.
it was immediate.
So Moyes has got them playing the type of survival football that they need. We're right now 6 points from 2 games. I didn't see that happening with that staunch of a manager that they had who is stuck in his way. But anyway, and then you've got the fluency that is Liverpool. We in for a good game. We are in for a
I
good
think it will
game.
be a good game. But what I do like though is this isn't like one of those Klopp teams that are just going to try and run the opposition into the ground. We are
Yes.
trying to be a little bit more controlled, and I think that will serve us a little bit better for that game because we won't just be outmuscled, which
Yeah.
is what Everton generally look to do to us. I think we can control it, and again, it's won and lost in that double pivot of Gravenberch and McAllister. If
Yo.
they can run the show, I
Then you
think it'll
sort
look
it.
comfortable. But if you do put enough pressure on them, um, it can be very tough for us. It can be very tough for us. Calvert-Lewin is injured, which is like a bonus for Everton because his replacements have been doing a lot better. That Ndiaye kid, who I really don't like that guy. I like the first time I saw him, I don't know what
You
it was.
knew.
I I knew I was not gonna like this guy, and then last weekend I think he does the bird celebration against Bournemouth, and I'm like, yeah, I was right about this guy. I just I don't know if it was the color of his shirt that just threw me off him, but like one look and I'm like, nah, I don't like this kid.
And
But
Beto?
look, he's a good player and he's doing the job for them. Beto,
Beto?
I, I don't, I don't know how to rate him because it seems like when I watch him, he just looks gangly, out of control, like could do better always. But lately, I look at the score sheet and I see his name there.
Ghana?
So you know, Akana's okay. Look, the rest of the sides, like it's not a side that should be fighting relegation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a side that should be not mid-table, but like upper lower half of the table, like around 13, 12. That's where they should be, right? And I think now they're about 16 or 15. So they're not
Yeah,
far away from that, and I think they will get there. Um,
before before Tato kills me, is commented. Um, we've been putting we've been putting tag from the beginning of the season. Liverpool. Let's see.
yeah, we don't have
So,
to lose a game, right? Um, but the point I'm making is, well, okay, I'm making 2 points. The first point I'm making is I never wrote you guys off as title challengers.
mhm.
The second point I'm making is neither team's going to win out from here. Like it's just not going to happen. This is not that 98, 97 point season, right?
Yeah,
It's probably going to be 86 points, 87 points that wins you the league this season. And
there's
I get this as well. Like beat Man City and then go draw at home to Wolves, or I don't even know if they've beaten Wolves recently, but go draw at home to like I don't know Ipswich or Leicester or maybe even surprise defeat to Southampton. It happens, but the same thing's gonna happen to us. Like we could also drop points against Everton. Um, and we also have Villa coming up not long after that. So kind of bogey teams for us. So this league it's still open. Like I'm not I'm not going either way here. I'm not talking about favorites. I'm talking about Arsenal having momentum after they win this weekend. And
mhm.
with us, it was okay. What I'm going to say is going to contradict myself here, but it was a fairly routine win for Liverpool. But at the same time, I felt like Bournemouth were the better team.
I think, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I you were efficient,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
We
how I'd like
we
to tag you. You're boringly efficient, if I may say so.
yeah. No,
Um,
it like that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. I don't, Clivert. I don't know how you missed that chance. I
it's
don't
a
know how
sitter.
you missed that. But it's not the first time. Like last
I saw
season,
yeah, I saw that where
exactly
they
the
do the side
same.
by exactly the same, where it bounces off,
Exactly
it
the
comes
same.
back, and he misses it, never learns. But yeah, you are boringly efficient, and yeah, boring, like yawn boring. But I don't think this
But
game is it
on
on
top
Wednesday or
of that,
Thursday,
right?
the Merseyside derby
No. So I think it's
on the 12th.
Wednesday we play Spurs.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wednesday we play
yeah, yeah.
Spurs,
It's
and the
on the 12th.
weekend we play Plymouth. and then it's next midweek. So there's quite some time before the next game.
Mm, perfect. Um, uh, but guys, big teams were never a problem for Arsenal. It's the small teams. Um, oof, I don't know what you're saying. Who are they playing? They playing Newcastle. Is Newcastle a small team? Where everyone is now paying
That's in the
attention,
cup.
but
What's their next league game?
you can check there.
Let's check.
Fuck.
Let's go to fixtures.
So yeah, there we go.
Let's filter by Arsenal.
Yeah, they're playing Newcastle, Leicester.
Yeah,
Oh,
their
this is an
next
easy
game
one.
is Leicester.
So the next three
Leicester
games,
away.
it's Leicester, Leicester away, West Ham at home, and Forest away, and then they're
Yeah,
playing Man
those.
United.
I think they. Yo, I think they beat Leicester.
But the tricky part is this part here. Leicester is a small
Forest, Man
team.
United.
Um, they
Nah,
play
the thing is,
Leicester.
Leicester's not.
I watch Leicester.
Leicester's a small team, but they're not.
Leicester's shit, guys.
They're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like they're not a threat. They beat Spurs, but like Spurs beat themselves. It wasn't Leicester that was beating Spurs. It was Spurs just
Which
being Spursy.
to Chris's point, if anything happens against Arsenal and Leicester walk away with a draw or a win, there will be more question marks on Arsenal's title ambitions more than anything.
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Nothing but
I get you, but
a
I don't see it
comprehensive,
happening.
nothing but a comprehensive win has to, like, I'm talking like 4-0 in the
Hmm.
first half.
Even if it's a 1-0, it kind of breaks your momentum, right? Like one of those frustrating 1-0s.
Yeah.
Kind of breaks your momentum. What I will say
Yeah.
though is after that it's West Ham who do look a little bit better under Potter. So that might I still think Arsenal will win, but that might be a frustrating game. But Forest Man United, yee. Those are the two guys. Those are the two.
Hold on. I'd like us to just get into this because, yeah. Question mark. And I'm posting it, and let me know when you can see it. Where's the question mark now? And I can't find the question mark. And this thing makes no sense without the question mark. Ah, there it is. Sorry, I'm using a device that I know nothing about. Anyway, there we go.
They're better against big teams than small teams.
Oh, so they're in Arsenal.
They're actually very good against big teams, to be honest.
So, your opinion of Palace coming in and doing that's the third time Palace has come to the Theatre of Dreams and they reign supreme.
Hmm.
Um, the Man United manager decides it's the best time to actually what's the word? Test out a new formation.
So remember, this whole season is just testing for United, right?
But I think
Because they're not going to get
is there pressure?
relegated.
Is there pressure? Is there pressure there on him right
There-
now?
There's 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 pressure to see a performance. There's pressure to see improvement. There's pressure to look like your club is going somewhere. But there's no pressure on the results.
This experimenting against a side that has beaten you home 3 times, I wouldn't have.
But look at their context, right? They're not pushing for top four. If they were pushing for top four, I agree with you. But okay, let me put it this way, right? Early on the season, we lost to Forest, and I remember saying if Slot learns from this, then this defeat will probably do us more good than if we won it. I'll
Yeah.
say exactly the same thing for Amarim. If he learns from this, then look,
These else.
he's not going to go back to a back four, right? He's going to stay with the back five. But if he's learned from this, then it could actually help him in the long run. United's season starts next season. This season is a write-off for them. They're
I
probably
agree.
going to finish like 12th, 10th, wherever, somewhere
I
somewhere
had a I
there
had
in
a I had
that.
a I had a long think about that, more than I should have. Um, we know the background, as in come into the season last season, and this is before this season began. A conversation was had with getting him to move to Man United. Okay, because what's his name was leaving. Eric, the board had decided that Eric was leaving. Okay,
Mhm.
and they decided to extend Eric's contract and whatever. And mid-season, they decided, you know what, actually, we're going to revert to the candidate that we had. Now, as a candidate coming in, no
Hold on, hold
preseason.
on, hold on.
Mhm.
United were not after Amarim. We were after Amarim, and then West Ham were after Amarim,
You
not
were offered.
United.
Sorry, they were offered. They were offered Imran. He was
Yes,
he was coming. He was
we
coming to.
no, he was coming to Liverpool. The
He was coming to
reason
United.
why, no, he was coming to Liverpool. The reason why we said no to him was because we did not want to go to a three at the back. We did not want to
You,
change so drastically, so we passed on him, and we're like, cool, we're
United had
gonna go
him.
look for
United
someone.
had him on. United had him on his thing. They had him on their list. He
But
was,
how far up on their list?
I think,
And was
very
it
like
around the same
last.
time that he was coming to Liverpool
I
or
think
going to
run. He
West Ham?
was one. He was one of the last candidates that they had. He
Yeah,
was
so,
right
so
up there.
yeah, so he had some candidates ahead of him, right? That's
Uh,
probably also why I think that's reading into it a bit too much
which is
because
why I gave a before I said what I said.
yeah.
Maybe I thought about it a bit too much. In that, so now he comes in mid-season with the squad. It's players that they're not his players.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he must have had the conversation to say we'll take what we take this season. It is going to be a tough one. The first thing I'd like to clear up is clear up for next season. So whatever else shouldn't really be of surprise, because the man is quite ballsy in his interviews. I like it and I don't like it.
Hmm.
I like the fact that he tries to take the attention away from the players, but in that he's very vocal, but he ends up in his in him talking, chucking the players under the bus. Um, one week he says worst Man United team. Next week he says he'll rather have the keeper coach play instead
Than
of
Rashford.
Rashford. I mean, yeah, Rashford at the end of the day is still your player. Shit as he has been, and his attitude is still your player.
But
And
look, if you're trying to force him out, that's one of the things you would say, right? And it kind of worked because now he's out.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But the
Well, what we forget about
experimenting.
Rashford is Rashford came in under Van Gaal, and we said under Van Gaal it was the players that got him fired. Under Jose, it was the players. Under Ollie, it wasn't the players. Ollie brought some Man United born and bred back, but that ended badly. And then the next guy, Ragnick, said they needed to do open heart surgery on the squad.
And then
Nobody
no one
believed
wanted
him.
no one wanted to listen to the old man, the old
Yeah,
wise man.
who basically said exactly the same thing Mourinho said a few years before, right? And nobody believed Jose either. And both those men were proved right. I'm thinking Amarin comes in and he sees, we probably don't see it in public, but he sees maybe Rashford is maybe a type of ringleader, as in not a proper leader, but he's got a clique. And
Yeah,
Amarim wants to break that clique. And the best way to break that clique is
is to
chop
take the
off the head
leader.
of the snake.
Yeah,
Yeah. And maybe that's what's happening. Maybe
and
that's what's
with
happening.
him with Rashford leaving for Villa, we don't know the intricacies of the contract,
Yeah.
but I know there's an option to buy. And they're handling like what 75% of his wages. If
Hmm.
he goes there and he performs, of which he should, He doesn't have a right not to perform. I mean, he's going to be inheriting Champions League football.
Hmm.
If he performs, I don't know if Villa is going to be obligated or there's an option. Because remember, there's always either when yeah, it's in an obligation to buy or it's an option
I
to buy where
think
you
they
can
have the
exercise it.
option. I don't think it's an obligation. I think it's the option.
Yeah, so if then he leaves, then he by just him leaving now, he frees up the wage bill by 75% or whatever the of 320 the 25 that he earns. If he performs, Man United get like minimum 30-40 bar. And
Yep.
I'll say this again, it's pure profit. He's a dev grad, and they didn't invest. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd like to call it as pure profit.
Hmm.
So yeah, his leaving serves everyone best, and I think under Unai is strict, and he's a very man-to-man manager. So if this fails for Rashford, that's it.
That's
Yeah,
career done.
yeah,
That's his
it, it,
career.
it's
Then he
that's
must
that's
go
it.
play for, I don't know, like one of those teams that we spoke about earlier that
Go
will
to
finish
Saudi. Go to
12th or
Saudi.
16th.
Is
Yeah,
Mr.
or
MBE.
Saudi.
Yeah. And let's speak on the performance this weekend. Um, it was there's a line that Man United tries to hold, um, and Harry Maguire decides, fuck that, I'm going to be ahead of everybody. And guess what that line does? He, he, he has the offensive team on side. And I'm like, are we still having these conversations with Harry Maguire? I don't know what they see in him.
I
Um,
know what they see in him. I know what they see in him. He's he's willing. He plays for the badge. It's all these things that you guys make fun of players for, but at the end of the day, it does count for something. The problem is, it's not enough. You have to have quality with it. And Maguire, I didn't watch the game, but like sometimes his decision making is just,
it's non-existent.
non-existent. Sometimes it's absolutely fine, and you're like, damn, this is a good defender. But so many times, and you can't say, oh, it's an injury or there's a change in system. There's no reason behind it. It's just randomness. You can't
It he
predict it.
so as a defender, actually not even a defender, if you're in the starting 11, um, you constantly are focused on the game. He loses his focus. I think he
Yep,
tries to do a bit too much, and that gets to him. Because I
yep,
think the last like 15 minutes of the game, he was up front trying to help the strikers, and I feel that he's doing more damage than any good.
good. Yeah.
If anyone disagrees with me, went and watched the game, not the highlight reel, where he decided to sit up front, and then the ask is to try and get him in the middle of get him in the box and then whip in crosses because we know he's good in the head. And then
When was the last
what
time he scored
Palace?
though?
Fuck, I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. But what Palace did very well is they were very compact, so they didn't even give him the option, an opportunity for the ball to come in. And now the ask is for him to play the ball on the floor, and that's not his strongest suit. But anyway, uh, let's
Now
see
I'm
what they
looking at
say.
Tato's comment here. He's right. He does play football, but he makes mistakes, and he makes big mistakes, and he makes brain dead mistakes. Not the, oh, he went with his left, he went with
He
his right foot, but he should have went with his left foot type of mistakes.
and
He makes,
he never ceases to surprise us with his stupidity,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah.
Because the mistakes that he makes are very costly, and I think we're at a high level of football right now where yes, every mistake is going to be
You don't get
costly.
away with it.
Yeah, but with him being the former captain, there's an extra focus on him. And I'm not picking on him as the worst of the bunch, but that mistake for me stuck because the goal was a result of that. That the other goal where it hits the post and it rebounds. I'm not going to blame the keeper there. It was a good header that comes in. The striker was more alive than the defenders. The defenders were still ball watching, and unfortunately, what happened.
So
Everyone is saying, "Oh, none of this or none of that."
okay, as I said, I didn't watch the game, but I've I've kind of experienced this, like just playing football, like back in the day when I was fit. There are times where,
How back in the day are we talking?
yes, dude, like
Okay,
before
it's
I
fine.
even
Go
got
on.
to
Yes.
Joburg, before I even got to Joburg back in the days, right? There are times where the ball hits the post and your brain just reasons that it's gone out, so you switch off. It happens, right? But it's okay if it happens to me on the five-a-side pitch, right? It should
Not
not happen to a
at home.
professional footballer.
Yeah, who's on a whatever, I don't know, Onana's what 200K a week.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know everyone,
exactly.
we get a lot of flack. We get a lot of flack on yeah, you shouldn't be
Please,
really
no, Tato,
the
hold on.
wages don't.
I'm reading Tato's next comment here. I do not want
It's
this man. I do not want this man anywhere near my club. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you get
He's a good
Van Dijk
defender.
can hold his hand. Van Dijk can hold his hand, and that's it. The two peas in
Um,
a pod.
I'd
But
rather have Kwanzaa. I'd rather have Kwanzaa.
or a grade that is 16.
Maybe not 16, maybe 18. You know, as a defender, you need your height to come in a little bit. Thank you. This is my cousin. See, I was a good footballer in my young days.
How far
Young
back?
days. This
But
is
anyway,
very
it's fine.
no, no, very, very long ago. This is very long ago.
So let's okay, because I love picking apart Man United. We've spoken on Harry, Euro, and Martinez. Martinez is, I feel bad he's injured. I do,
What happened there?
but
I didn't see it. I saw a
um
picture afterwards.
positioning wise and it wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul. So he was positioned awkwardly and he tried to reach for the ball and it wasn't a foul and he twisted his ankle. It looked terrible. It looked fucking terrible. And he's not one. I mean, you know how they're built in South America. He's not
Mm,
like the defenders. He's not one to whinge and whatnot. But yeah, he was in tears. He was in proper pain.
mm.
But my point is, he's
Season
got a
ender?
tendency. Yeah,
Yo.
yeah. If we he's out for 3 months. If I like, but and this is just by the looks of it. The knee was not designed to actually twist the way that he twisted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um. Yeah. 3 months minimum, unless they work some magic. I almost said some dental magic, but yeah,
Hmm.
South America and um. Yeah, but he's got a tendency of these rash, brash, very scary tackles that he normally has, and I think he needs to nip like a bit, like these
He
two-footed
overdoes it.
jumping.
He overdoes it. I did say, I think last week, I said he
You
was gonna
did,
end he was gonna end the career. I
yeah,
I didn't know it was gonna be his own, but
yeah. You foresaw it. I recall you mentioning it last week, and it's rash, it's brash, it's and then you'd like, but like, dude, and then the refs like look away, and I initially thought, okay, he'll get a red, and then he will then see that, hey, listen, this is not right, because if he makes contact. That's it. It's either that's it for the season, it's it for the year, that's it for like a couple of years,
mm,
and then he injures himself. I feel bad for him, but come on. Anyway, I don't know what your views on him are. We can move on to Euro.
I think okay, I haven't seen much of Euro, so I don't really have much of an
I'm not
opinion.
convinced. Yeah, I'm not
Um,
convinced. That
Martinez, there's a player there. There's a player there, but okay, let me put it to you this way. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he should be in the Premier League. I think he should be in like Italy or Spain or one
Italy,
of those
Italy is
leagues.
the best.
Yeah, I don't think he has it for the Premier League.
Um, the Yeah, you're right. I
He
think
can
Italy.
pass very well. We're still talking about Maguire here, right? He can pass really well, and he's a more than competent defender, but he has a brain fart.
It does. So now you've got two players in your back three that have brain farts because Maguire is prone for that mistake, and this little the butcher, as they call him, the 6 foot uh,
Nothing.
butcher, also has a brain, and you can't afford that.
Mm,
Unfortunately, you can't. Um, and then you then take this kid who might be good. That's Euro on the one side, but he also needs guidance. He's still a kid,
mm, exactly.
and yeah.
Exactly. He is
And then we
someone I would
move,
put next to Van Dijk to learn off, right?
yeah. And then you
But
move to the
instead, he's
middle.
learning off Maguire. That's not going to work out for him.
That's a good teacher, man. And then you move to the middle. Mazraoui, I think we've spoken with Mazraoui before. Not we are huge fans, but there's a player there.
Yeah,
Dalo didn't
there's
have the
admiration there.
worst of game. Yeah. Ugarte and Bruno. Bruno is lost. Um, I don't know what Bruno needs. I don't know. I recall when Bruno picked up a red and he got to watch the game from a distance. That I can't remember which game it was that yeah. And I thought that would allow him to understand what the manager wants of him, but he really he looks lost. This past weekend, I don't remember any of his champagne passes. That's his famous trademark. He has a lot of champagne passes, and he can pull, but nothing. I don't recall him having a shot that was on target that was either problematic for the keeper. Yeah, and we know that he can put the ball, like he knows how to position a ball. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't see the Bruno where he had Pogba besides him and Pogba had like 4 assists and then
Mm.
Bruno had 4 goals. I don't see that. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't see that. And then you've got Ugarte. I'm a huge fan. Uh, he's thorough. He's very, very thorough.
What about that front line? Because
That's where
I
we're
think
going.
Kobe was
I'd like you
false
to
nine.
unpack it.
I,
Yeah,
I I
so I'd
didn't
like
watch
you.
the game. I didn't watch the highlights. I haven't seen anything. The only information I have is what you guys were speaking about in the group and some
And there was
things
a
that I
lot.
saw on social media. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like it's all second hand for me. But Kobe as a
third
false
hand.
nine,
It's third hand. Yeah,
are we?
Kobe was false nine, but they were swapping. So you had who's that other kid? Ganacho, Dalo.
Diallo,
Sorry, Ganacho, Mainu, and Ahmad.
Diallo.
So
Yeah.
they were doing that whole rotation thing with one moment the one is on the wing, the other one is tucking in and whatnot. If you're looking at it on paper, it's brilliant because the kids have got skill, pace, and yeah, but how it transpired, it was all over the place. They could find each other, but in places that didn't harm Palace. Like
I,
they
so I don't see it because as much as that's happening, like even Kai Havertz, who is far more Bruno's too emotional. Yeah, this is true
it's exact. Yeah,
because he does
I
throw,
think I'm
he
gonna
does throw a
pin
fit,
this.
and
I'll
he
pin
does get
this.
a stupid yellow card, and he does, go down like he's in hit by a sniper. Um,
Nah, I say he's been stabbed with a blunt dagger.
yeah, that too, and he was probably the captain you needed to get you out of the rut that you were in, but he's not the captain you need to take you into getting back into the top four.
Yeah, bo.
Take
Yeah.
take the responsibility off him. But then who should be captain? I don't see anyone in that team who should be captain.
Um. Ooh. 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 Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm looking at the squad. Yeah, you're
Delict
right.
maybe,
He didn't start this weekend.
but I mean, like maybe he settles in this season. Who's their vice captain? I don't even know who their vice captain
Ah,
is.
fuck. I don't know. I don't know.
Bruno plays pretty much every game, so
Ooh, and taking the captaincy, oof, that's gonna make even more emotional. But anyway, um, yeah, I don't think of any other player that might be captain. I don't know. Man United fans, please type in there who should be your captain because we've taken the yeah of making sure that you don't have a captain. Mm, yeah, and then the front three. It was mm-mm. First 5 minutes maybe they showed signs of life. But I think Palace were very calm and calculative, and the minute the first goal went in, the writing was on the wall, and by then, the manager tried to have a look at on the bench, but the bench was worse than what was on the field.
uh, I think it was I actually think it was a Bournemouth game where we brought on off the bench. We brought on Darwin Nunes, and we brought on two other players. I don't remember who they were. And the comment was, as well as Bournemouth are doing, when they look to the bench, they just don't have the quality that we have. And
Mm,
in a title race, well, United are not in a title race, but you need that option. You need that,
mm.
like what Darwin comes on against Brentford and does, right? If you don't have that, that means you're pretty much going to burn out those same 11 players. And also limits the amount of experimenting that you can do.
Arsenal. Arsenal. So he went and he brought in four substitutions. It was De Ligt, it was Hoyland, it was Xerxes, it was Ericsson. Um,
It's
and
not
none of them
terrible.
are different. No, no, none of them are difference makers. Maybe Ericsson last season or the season before. Now, okay, he comes in. Oh, okay, De
Yeah.
Ligt
Like
came
fresh legs,
in.
but okay.
Yeah, comes in maybe 80th minute or whatever. Xerxes and Hoyland. Yo. I think Xerxes at some point we were arguing that he's being played out of position, and I watched him. There's nothing there.
So on Hoyland, and I've like this is actually the picture that I shared. I actually checked. Mo Salah has more goals at Old Trafford than Hoyland.
You didn't have to do that though.
No, but it like guy, it just shows. And
No,
eh, these players shouldn't like I defended him. I defended him, but recently I found out that he was actually left-footed, and I'm like, the fact that I didn't know that
that tells you a lot.
probably tells me everything I need to know about this player, right? Um, so he's got to go. He's got to go. Xerxes, you probably. I don't think Xerxes got to go, but I think you'll get your money back for him. So from that sense,
No,
he kind of
no,
got to
they
go.
got him. How much was he? What,
He was
40
like
odd?
30, around there. I don't think he was maybe around 40, not more
No, but
than that.
like no. With such
They love him
performances,
in
no
Italy.
one.
They love him in Italy. They love that type of player in Italy. So I
Yeah,
can
but
see them
Italians
maybe
Italians are
getting their money
cheap.
back for him.
Italians are cheap. Italians are not gonna freaking pay
They can
the.
spend when they want to. They can spend when they want to, the Italians. Um, and the league's doing a
So
little bit better now. So
so I almost said something stupid, but anyway, um, we we go back to the managing the expectation that is Man United. They're right at the bottom. I think this is going to be 3 seasons in a 2 seasons in a row because last season they finished seventh.
hmm,
Did they? Yeah, they did. I don't see them making top four, top
no,
five.
no, it's gone. It's gone.
Can the fans deal with that? And and this is like
Again,
giving this man time.
again, if they see progress in terms of style of play, in
Mm,
terms of patterns of play, in terms of having a actual game plan, and you can sort of see where the team is going. Like our first season on the Klopp, we finished eighth, and I'm like, I'll take it because the team just looked better. It looked like we were going to do something. And the next season, we qualified for Champions League. Um, so if that's the direction that they're going in, and they finish 10th, but come the end of the season, you're like, okay, I know how my team's going to play now. I think they'll take it.
I can identify with I, I don't see it. I watched them over the weekend. I don't see it.
You don't see it. So okay, but is it as bad as like Ten Hag, where
No,
if you
no.
whiten out the guts and
I
build
think
young
anything is
players,
better.
and
I think
then
anything is better than Ten
they'll
Hag.
probably take it.
I just I watched and I was thoroughly entertained by Palace. Um, I missed the Palace of end of last season. They were very thorough and they were coming back. I do feel they should have buried, like maybe smacked them with a three nyana goal. I would have been happy because I'm always happy when United loses at home. Um, but now the manager has a decision to make. Does he experiment the next couple of games?
He has to. He absolutely up until, and I don't think it will get there, but unless they're in a relegation battle, he has to. He has to see what he has. He has to try everything. He has to go into next season with an idea of exactly what he needs to do.
Who
He
are they
cannot
playing
go into
next?
next
Let's see.
season with
The
questions.
same question marks.
Yeah. So he has to work that out now.
Oof, 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 oof. Their running doesn't look yo. So this is yeah. If X you're watching, tools you're watching, look away. Okay, so you've got Leicester in the FA Cup, so that's fine. Come Sunday, you're playing Spurs. That's a
That
Jack.
can go either
That's
way. You
yeah.
don't know.
That's yep. You've got Everton. That also can go
I
either
think
way.
Everton win that game.
Moyes, yeah, Moyes
Honestly,
has
think
got a,
Everton win that game.
and this is at their new stadium, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you've
No, it's
got
still at Goodison.
Ipswich.
Still at Goodison.
Oh, they're only moving. Oh yeah,
I
yes,
think
yes, you're
yeah, they
right.
only
Yes,
moved
yeah, you're right.
next year.
Yeah, and then you've got Ipswich, and then you've got Arsenal. Um,
I'm more concerned
he's
about
in no, he's in trouble. I've just gone through it. Okay, I'll read it for you. I'll yeah. So forget the Leicester game, which is this week. It's a cup. This is their league. They've got Spurs, Everton, Ipswich, Arsenal, Leicester, Forest, City, Newcastle.
mm,
The next 10 games that they're going to be playing are weird ass games. I was hoping
although
maybe there's a
I think
Southampton in there in the
I think
mix.
I think they beat Leicester. I think they beat Leicester. I think they beat Ipswich. Not because they're good, but those teams are just that bad. Um, Ipswich do have something about them, but I think they have enough to beat Ipswich, especially at home. Everton, I don't see them. Like, I'm sorry, I don't. The way Everton have been playing, I can't see them beating Everton. Moyes has a grudge against United.
He
He's gonna
does.
want to beat
He
them.
does. They embarrassed him. They embarrassed him when he was
Yep,
the chosen one.
yep,
Where
yep,
Alex had christened him that you are the next one, and the team just didn't do it for him.
yep.
Problem with teams like Man United and Spurs, they don't have quality players. That's
I
true.
think United still have the pull. They don't have the
They pull his
guns or the planning.
cash. Yeah,
Mm,
they pull his cash. There's a plan for him. He needs players. Hey, like it makes it tricky when you've got a plan but you don't have players. It's like at some point he's got what 6 months now to work out which players, and then he must be aggressive in getting those players,
yep.
and then get them up to speed as soon as possible. Because I think come next season, the first 3 months of the season, that is where we're going to see a man under pressure because he has to
What I
perform.
what I do like about him though is already improved some players. Like Diallo looks a better player. Mazraoui looks a
He's
better
but the
player.
only well, Mazraoui
Delict
came in. Mazraoui came in, so he never got influenced by
by
thingy.
that. Yeah,
Mazraoui, yeah.
well, Delict also looks a better player. I'd argue Martinez has improved. Up until unfortunately he took himself out.
Yeah, just
And well,
hold on for me. I do not know why this guy refuses to go to bed. Okay, so we
he
might
wants to
have to
talk
cut
about
the
Man
stream.
United.
What do you know about Man United? Uh, uh? Anyway,
It's good.
he's
Don't
refusing.
teach him anything about United.
Nah, he's refusing to sleep. So I think in the next 10 minutes, I might have to call it. He's just refusing to sleep.
I think
Yes, you're saying?
let's okay. I think we've spoken about United. Let's close off talking about the Bournemouth game because that was, as I said, Bournemouth were probably the better team. We are already at an hour, so we might as well. Yeah, Bournemouth were the better team. I did touch on Clivert absolutely needing to score that, but where we were and why I say Salah is the GOAT, because when it really mattered, he stepped up and he delivered. That
That's
second
true.
goal was an absolute, like, it's so difficult to do that. Some people were saying, oh, it was a cross. And
No,
I saw a video of a Brentford fan watching the game. Like the Brentford fan was videoing from behind the post. And Salah gets it onto his left foot. And you hear him saying, oh shit, before he even takes the shot. Because you know what's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. There is no way that that was a cross. He meant that. He saw it. He saw it even before he got the ball. He knew exactly what he was going to do. And Kirkes couldn't stop it. Some people are talking about Kirkes being the best left back in the league. I can see it. I can see it with the way he's going forward. And I wasn't very impressed with him in our first game against them. I am impressed with him now, but I probably shouldn't be judging him playing against Mo Salah, right? Because
because everyone.
you're going to lose that battle. Um, and that penalty, I just want to talk about that penalty as well. From the angle,
Do you
from that
really
angle
wanna?
that yes, I do, yes, I do. From that angle that's circling around, it does not look like a penalty. And the first time I saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty. But then you look at it from the different angle, and it's not intentional. It's not intentional at
I'm
all.
glad you said that. Yeah,
There's no intent in that. He's literally just chasing down the striker, but he does clip him, and he does clip his
I think.
not his standing leg. So it's like Gakpo's right leg touches the ground, and his left leg is obviously the one in the air. He clips his left leg, so his left leg can't now make contact with the ground in his stride, and completely not intentional. Completely not intentional, right? I'm not like there was no he was not trying to foul him. He was not trying to do anything. He was literally just chasing down his man. But it is a penalty. And how you know it's a penalty is none of the Bournemouth players complained. Like
because they
this
know
guy,
that the writing is on
he
the
even just
wall.
put his arms up and he's like, you know what, fine, it happens. It's unfortunate, but it is a penalty. I feel bad for them, but it was the right decision.
Yeah, rightfully so. You feel bad for them because you walked away with 3 points. Shivar. Oh fuck. I get irritated because I watch this I and there was no intent.
There was no intent,
It's
but it's still a
it's two
foul.
bodies. It's two bodies that collided, and that was that. It was never a
But it's
pen.
still a foul.
I
It's
don't
still
think
a
so.
foul because
We can we can
he clipped him.
we can
He clipped
we
him from the
can
back. That's a foul.
we can argue until we're red in the face and whatnot. I've come to terms with realizing that there's certain things that um are just I given, and yeah, I'm at peace
Nah,
with it.
so this go and look at the other angle because
I've seen I've
from
seen
the
I've
angle
seen
where
I've
we
seen.
looking, I'm addressing Tato here. It does look like Gakpo tripped himself, and the first
Yes,
time I saw it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is not a penalty. Can we just move on with our lives? Like this is actually annoying me now. Why are we stopping it for things like this? Then I saw the other angle, and I'm like, oh, okay, no, wait, hold on.
there might be something
That's
here
actually
for
yeah,
me to benefit.
that's that's actually a pen, and I think that was the correct decision.
No, I don't think so. But it's fine. I'm comfortable with knowing that it's uh, my biggest gripe is the match officiating was poor, piss
It
poor,
was. It
and it was
actually it
for your
was.
side. And
But
then I
if
remember I
but that
remember
penalty was a
the
penalty.
hold on, and now I'm just speaking about the whole the whole game. I'm not taking just that snippet. And I remember that, oh, this is the same manager who had a horror show against Liverpool, and he had to
ref.
issue. I think this is what, like a couple of months back. No, yeah, but a year ago, and his buddies had to issue an apology to Liverpool, and then in that you could see that he's officiating, trying to make amends, because the last thing that he needs right now is another apology to Liverpool.
I get
I
that.
think
I get that, right?
they put
But
him in a weird position, and uh, like the calls that you like.
I'll tell you which calls I'm a little bit dodgy about. I think it might have been Curtis who there was a counter, and I think it was Semenyo. I could be getting the players wrong, but it was still in our half. But that counter was on, and Curtis gets gets physical with this opposition player. I think it's Semenyo. I
And
could be
nothing
wrong.
happens.
They both go down, and Curtis wins the foul. And I see it again, and I'm like, that should actually be going the other way, and Curtis should be getting a yellow for stopping the counter instead of him getting the foul. That one I completely agree with on, like, that was a bad decision by the ref. The other one is McAllister's second foul
Should
was
have been a
probably
second yellow
worse. It
than
should
the
have been
first
a
foul.
second yellow.
Thank you.
The first one though, I like I don't know if that one was a
The
yellow.
first
That one
one,
was a bit harsh.
the first one was a yellow.
The second one, yes, I agree with you. What I thought there was because he gave him a soft yellow for the first one, he doesn't want to give him a yellow for the second one. And the very next foul he makes, he's going to get a yellow for and he's going to go off. And I think Slot saw it as well and took him
And
off immediately.
but he'd already made the foul, and
He'd
he should
already
have
made the foul.
gotten.
No, look, there, if he got sent off for that, I would not complain. I would not complain.
Yeah,
I'd put my hands up and
I'm
I'd
at
say, yeah,
peace.
stupid challenge.
I'm at peace with VAR decisions going Liverpool. Honestly, I'm not even bothered.
I
I'm
mean,
not going to be like,
this is new.
oh,
I've never. This decision did go in our favor. That second yellow card. I'm not gonna deny that, but I'm not used to this. I'm not used to us
what
getting decisions in our favor. I'm used to the
bullshit,
fairest goals being called offside. I'm used to
bull.
regulation tackles being sending offs. That's what I'm used to. So seeing this, it's like, huh, this is what United must have felt in the 2000s.
I don't know if you recall. I think it was a couple of episodes back where I went and I said where we are with some of the officiating. Just be at peace with it. You're gonna get some, you're not gonna get some. It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. So if these refs are offering an apology for a shit game they had 14 seasons back, sorry, 14 months back, it is what it is. Until it hits you, and you become like us. You become like Arteta, where you go on a rampage. The refs need to do better, and he benefits from it, and then he keeps quiet. But anyway. Dude, anything else that you feel we need to discuss? Your team,
Honestly, I just
not your
wanted to clear up
team.
the penalty and
You
honestly
didn't
say
clear it
that
up.
was not.
There was nothing to
That
clear up.
was a penalty.
There is
That's
nothing
a
to
pin.
clear up there.
It's a pin.
The officiating was on your side, and so yeah, we can call it. Guys that have been on, we
I
see you, we recognize
completely
you.
disagree with that. Completely disagree with
That's
that.
why.
We lost the title due to poor officiating. Stonewall handballs not being given. I'm sure
I'll
you
just keep
remember
quiet.
Odegaard playing basketball last season, right?
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. We win some, you lose some when it comes to officiating. Just saying. But anyway, guys,
Are we
thanks
closing
for.
off talking about the refs?
Uh, we need an episode just for the refs, but anyway, let's not do that. I don't know, guys. Are we congratulating Liverpool on winning the
No,
title? Are we
not yet.
saying
Nope.
us Arsenal are title challengers and contenders? And but the beauty of this soapy that we are watching is it doesn't have repeats, unless you're talking about Arsenal. We'll see what's going to happen, because I think the next couple of weeks are
That
going to
was
be
low.
defining. The next couple of weeks are going to be defining for whoever wants to step up to Liverpool, because I think Liverpool have laid a marker, and it's up to everyone to go right ahead and say we're here challenging. What's Ntato's?
Strong contenders for okay. Tato, Strong contenders for Premier League. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You
Well,
guys are
you
strong
saw
contenders for Premier League.
you saw what Villa went
Champions
in,
League,
and
guys.
Villa is recruiting. Yeah, is recruiting some heavy muscle pushing for. And I think we'll speak on this. Where Unai is a competition kind of manager. I think
Mm.
the Champions League might just. But anyway, we'll talk about it. We won't give it away for the Betway crew. Anything else? Are we good? Calling it?
Just Arsenal's not going to win the Champions League. That's my one
Thank you.
prediction
Thank you.
for the season.
What are you still very much for the next fixtures? They'll have to go to Bayern. But
They're
anyway,
they're gonna they're gonna whoever they get in the next round, they're gonna give their team an absolute hiding, and they're gonna be on their high horse, and they're gonna talk about being favorites for the Champions League, and then they're gonna draw Bayern and lose 5-1. It's football heritage.
in the days of our lives, as the sands through the hourglass, the kids don't get that reference. Dude, let's call it. Thanks once again for making time,
Cool
guys.
and Gubani.
Cheers. All right.